Welcome back to Trading Show. My name is David. I'm joined with the master of Zen.
JP, I'm back.
Ready for action?
Absolutely, always.
Missed you yesterday, man.
Aw, miss you too, brother.
Hope everything's going good.
Yep.
I missed my trade. Speaking of missing, you guys know we put this limit order in on, was yesterday, on breakout. Just missed our entry by a smidge, by looks like 40 cents. And, well, that would have been a really nice entry on a hyperliquid short at $45.86. Guys, I am so close. I did take an L yesterday on a BitTensor trade. I didn't post it in the chat because it was very, very speculative. I just didn't think it was going to cross below that 247, which it did. And so I got stopped out. But my I'm still at $53,235. So I'm a little about $2,700 or so away from getting funded. So on the journey, those of you that want to take a eval journey with me, very cheap for a lot of money. So there's a link in the description. Also, a big thanks to Tangent for sponsoring today's show. We're giving away some Tangent wallets to the community. I don't know how I'm going to decide who gets it, but your best chances are to just watch our show and be active in the chat. That way I can recognize your name all the time, you know? All right, let's dig in to Bitcoin. $74,400. We got a wick up to 76,000. Now, if I remember correctly, JP, 76 was kind of a big liquidity level. I'll hand it over to you, my friend. What are we expecting from Bitcoin? Is this just a short-term kind of sell-off, and then we're back to, more highs, or what are you thinking here? Let's get an analysis.
Well, let's check it out. As always, I'm open-minded, but I'm on a 4-hour time frame right now. We had a big run-up, but I'm starting to see like the early signals of my short setup right now. I don't want to jump the gun too early. Looking at a 4-hour chart once again, the stochastic RSI very high and curved. Now the money flow is very green. That tells you the trend is up. The trend is up, my friends. But this is a pretty red engulfing candle we're currently in right now. About 2 hours and 24 minutes into the close on a 4-hour. And, we've seen this before, man. We've seen, short signals flash, but then it keeps running up. So once again, remain open-minded. The 4-hour is in an uptrend, but it could be a good short entry. You mentioned liquidity. Let's take a look at it. So 5-minute chart. I'm seeing us entering the local liquidity below us. I'll call it local because it's close and it's usually very thin. This liquidity can bring us down to 73.9, a small break, go to 73,600, and all the way down to 73,000. You see that there's fuel to about 73,000 right here before you enter the larger block below. But look at that big red concentrated liquidity above us around 76,300. Now, we already took some of that liquidity, but there's more, man. Look how much more there is. That'll run you up to 78,000. 80K Bitcoin in the cards here. I would like to look at even larger time frames. Get back to Bitcoin here. Let's look at the weekly. All right, let's start all the way top down super quick. Big bullish candle on the monthly chart right now. Stochastics very low. Money flow in the green. VWAP heading in the bullish direction. Anything can happen here. We kind of wicked up at the small resistance level. This is a very key line in the sand level for me here. 74,500. You can see that was the April low last year. And we actually just got rejected right around that area. So, maybe that was the ultimate short entry, or maybe it's just resistance right now.
It's on the monthly?
That's on the monthly, yeah. Let's go to the weekly. Still has that double bottom that's intact. Stochastics is getting a little higher. Money flow is still in the red, but that's still a double bottom. The daily, the last time I looked at it, looked like it wanted to break out. The double bottom is exactly at resistance. And look, we wicked exactly where we were before, at 75,009. Look, that's an exact wick. Interesting.
Literally.
Interesting. I wonder if it's worth just putting in a security short right now. Remember, I was actually in a daily short just a few days ago.
Yep.
And I exited that short when I saw some things change. I saw some metrics change on a 4-hour, and we were breaking out. And I thought, better safe than sorry. Get out of the short and maybe get a better entry, like now, potentially. I don't want to jump the gun. Once again, I don't want to jump the gun and get too excited to short the top. Because that's a huge double bottom, a potential major reversal for Bitcoin. And we need to look at the NASDAQ. There's some game changer candles right now on the NASDAQ and the S&P. It could be a huge catalyst about to happen here. But before we do that, and I want you to weigh in here, I'm going to go down to 8-hour, super bullish, breaking out, bounced off the 21, double golden cross, money flow green. The proof is in the pudding there, man. That's a bullish move, 6 hours, same thing. 2 hour, same thing. We're just hitting kind of, resistance right now. Can we get past the resistance? 1 hour. Look at that. 1 hour. I bet you, I don't know how this keep getting turned off, but give me my hidden bullish divergence. That's hidden bullish divergence right there. And then the short time frames, I know, are pretty bearish right now. The 1 minute losing to 200, in the short term, we're coming down. So it would have been a nice short at 75,900. What do you think?
that was what were you on, the 12-hour, the 10-hour, where I had the double wicks?
Oh yeah, let's go back to that. You can see it really good on the 10-hour there. Is that interesting?
That was very interesting.
At the exact level, 75,009. And that's funny. That's around where my stop loss was for the daily short. It was right above these wicks, like at 76. So I would have still been in the trade, but I would have been in drawdown right now.
Right.
So, I mean, and look at this. So how much time left in the candle? 10-hour candle, 2 hours and 19 minutes left in this candle. Big wick.
That looks like a liquidity grab.
It does.
Let's take a peek. Let's see what ALGO tells us. ALGO going to tell us why mine aren't. Oh, it does have liquidity grabs. Okay, so ALGO is not telling us that it's technically a liquidity grab, but that's a liquidity grab if I've ever seen one. I mean, I just, me, I like to look at volume. And I think it was on the 4-hour I was looking at. We've seen kind of, we had, so these moves up here. Let me get rid of that.
Ooh.
So these kind of moves up right here, volume, right? You got to peak in volume. This move up, volume decreased. This move up, volume decreased significantly. And then is this like the final push up before we get a bigger dump? Now volume did increase. It didn't get to this initial one, but it increased over the last two. Could that be like the final ditch, the final run up before we see a big dump? I don't know. If we do see a big dump, the level I'd be targeting for a take profit would be 71.8. Which is that trend line. We've had a deviation below that. This is on the 4-hour. You can see this deviation here. We actually shorted this move. We haven't gotten a retest of it yet. And every time we've gone up, we've gotten a retest. Right here, we didn't get a retest. Here's a little M pattern. I saw that deviation come out, break out above. And this daily was pretty gnarly. I remember I think we're doing we had a client in here or something, and I kept showing you the chart. I was like, look at that daily kind of evening star pattern. We broke that trend line.
Yeah, I remember that.
Baby blood diamond, and then we gave it all back.
That's when I shorted. It looked like a short, just like it does now.
It did look like a short.
We have to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why it took me so long to come around on kind of my thoughts, but
yeah.
Man, I don't know, dude. I just don't know. I don't see anything where I'm like, wow, that's definitely.
Well, let me show you this. How about a daily liquidity chart? Take a look at this. So the liquidity above us starts at 74,000, 74.4. So just above us, not too far above us. And then the bottom liquidity is at 64,800. Now, what's more likely? And you see how much is above us too.
Yeah.
If you enter that top liquidity one more time, you could get a run up to 92,000. That's 93,000, 93,200. So what's more likely? We hit up to 74,000, 77,000, 76,000 area, or we go to 64,000 area from where we are right now.
I mean, the upside.
I think the upside, especially with the double bottom, especially with the low Stokes on the weekly. This is the recipe for a huge pump.
So what do we do? Do it like what?
What do? We do nothing.
Well, that's not fun.
Laura, make it zen.
We can't do nothing, man. We have to do something. Okay, we got to.
Sometimes nothing is something. No, but seriously, we could make it unzen, Laura. We could just long the double bottom on the weekly or the daily. I know you don't like those huge trades like that. You could do that. You could just wait for a retracement on the medium time frames. Like yesterday, I made a killer long, $800 on a long, just long in a 15-minute. Right now, let's see. Let's go to the 15-minute. I wouldn't long that right now. So you got to kind of wait for a retracement. Maybe we can come down. Can we come down and touch the 200? And then enter here and then take a nice long up.
What about 72?
That would be like 72,000. I would like that trade. For a long, and you could be greedy and say, hey, well, if you're waiting for that, why don't I just short now? Short to 72,000. Sure.
I was thinking about
It's a bit greedy, a bit high risk, but you could do it, and honestly, this was giving me somewhat Bart Simpson vibes here. Bart Simpson had with a liquidity grab and then dump you, So short-term plays, maybe short now to 72,000 and then go for the long at around 72,000. That's 72,800, by the way.
Yeah.
So those are just ideas, but I want to show you something else that could be a game changer here. Let's go to.
Oh, you were talking about the NASDAQ, right?
Yeah, and this is the S&P right here. This is a weekly chart on the S&P. What do you think about that?
That's yeah.
That's all-time high territory.
I was gonna say that's all-time high, and that's a very bullish pattern there.
That's one of the most bullish candle formations I've seen in a long time. Look how big that is compared to all the other green candles, even on the way up. That is a major change, and it's very bullish until it isn't.
And it's on the weekly too.
This is a weekly chart, and look at the stochastics. A nice curve up. You get your green dot. You never lost your money flow.
Have we? When was the last time we were in red on the money flow? I'm curious.
On the weekly for the S&P, let's see.
Never.
It's 1992 or something.
That's wild, bro, right there.
But yeah, 23.
Oh my god.
Back in 23, yeah. The Nasdaq and the S&P pretty much goes up forever,
That's wild.
So that's the S&P, and there's a similar story on the Nasdaq. Boom. You're about to go into price discovery, potentially, so I would be very careful shorting anything right now, or even longing for that matter. A lot of TA goes out the window when you're in discovery. It's one of the most dangerous times to trade.
True. So what do we do here?
We do nothing.
All right, pack it up. We're done with the show.
But here's another thing. Forex Factory. We had
some numbers coming.
Yes.
Numbers come out today.
We had some inflation numbers come in today. And it's positive or negative depending on how you view it. So we have core PPI and PPI, and core PPI was forecast at 0.4. It came in at 0.1, much lower. But what is interesting here and confusing is that, I generally thought on Forex Factory that, the red numbers were, were worse than expected.
Right.
And it is technically because it came in lower than forecast, right? But once again, this is, Forex Factory is about the US dollar, it's about Forex, so this is actually short-term bearish for the US dollar. But what's bearish for the US dollar is oftentimes bullish for the speculative assets like NASDAQ, S&P, and
Equities.
Bitcoin. You notice the US dollar kind of moves at the inverse of Bitcoin. And so this is bullish for the economy long term. We have lower inflation. Hugely, tremendously lower inflation.
The greatest inflation.
The greatest inflation numbers ever. Okay. 0.4 forecast, and we're coming in at 0.1, much lower for core PPI. Then there's a PPI here, forecast at 1.1 and came in at 0.5. That's half.
That's a big, yeah.
That's huge.
Huge.
So huge. We're winning so big.
You know Trump's a doctor?
I saw that. He's a holy doctor. Do you think he was being for real? Like, was he trolling us, or he's just, I don't know. Did he really think that? I don't know.
I think he realized he fucked up and he backpedaled. So, yeah. Idiot. You brought up the dollar. Here's the Dixie. So, we can even throw Bitcoin on here. Let's go. Let's go hollow candles. So this is Bitcoin against the Dixie, the dollar index. Let's go 5 years. Let's make this larger and let's scale this down a little bit. And let's scale that down a little bit as well. Let's move it over. So you see how they move in inverse?
Yes.
For the most part, Dixie goes down, Bitcoin's going up. Well, look at what the Dixie's doing now.
Oh, wow. On a weekly chart here.
This is on the weekly. Dixie's rolling over after that green dot of doom showed up. On the daily, looks even worse. This looks to me like an M pattern here.
Yeah.
Maybe we get another push up, but
you lost the trend there. That's coming down, it looks like.
To JP's point, though, when the dollar goes down, equities go up, and including Bitcoin. This also looks like you had two M patterns. You had this was an M here that broke below, came back up, M pattern here, probably going to see a little bit of a rise up, maybe to like 99, 141, and then ultimately break lower. But the macro trend for this is down. It's been down since the beginning of the year. And so if we see a further fall in the DXY, we'll probably see a further gain and rise in equities, including Bitcoin and the S&P and the NASDAQ, and potentially even gold and silver. I mean, silver's up 5% on the day.
No way.
Yeah, silver's up 5% on the day on increasing volume. This looks like straight continuation here. We took out this high here around 77.46. Maybe there's a silver trade somewhere here.
And gold is running, silver and gold. I love it.
So this is, and I got to, we haven't had Forrest on the show in a while. You've never met Forrest?
I have not met Forrest.
Forrest has come on our show since we had like 800 subscribers.
Okay.
He's a personal friend. He texted me this morning, said bullish on copper and silver.
Okay. We got copper on Bitunix.
We do?
We do.
Okay. Why don't you look at a copper chart? Let me go to the silver chart here. Maybe we can find a trade setup for people watching. Here's a 2-hour, volume's increasing. Let's throw Heikinashi on here. This is a clear uptrend that is not slowing down. As you can see, increasing volume, no lower wicks. So then the question then becomes, is there enough room to run until we hit the next level of resistance? Which, if I'm just kind of being, I would expect 81.48 to be some level of resistance for silver. And I don't know, man. I'd be too. I don't want to say scared, but I'd be hesitant to long this, because you take a look at this blue line here.
Yeah.
And I just kind of glanced over, but rewinding back here on the 4-hour time frame, rejection. If we zoom in a little bit this way. Once we broke above, we consolidated in this area. We had a nice bounce on a wick. We lost it. Didn't come back and retest it here. This was in February. But on the way down, we consolidated here, and silver ultimately ran from the $81 up to $90 until we lost it, retested it, failed multiple times, consolidated below that trend line, and now we're heading back that way. So this tells me that $81.50 should be a level that we could potentially short Bitcoin, or excuse me, short silver. My only concern would be we are seeing volume increase. We're seeing pretty strong candles with very limited or no downside wicks. I mean, look at this candle formation here, right? No wick, no wick, no wick, no wick. Here we had a wick, but so I'm keeping my eye out, guys. I'm actually going to add an alert, crossing up, and we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to create an alert. If silver crosses above 81.48, I'll be notified. And at that point, I'll go back to the chart. I'll check the four. So here's going to be my strategy with silver. Okay. I'm looking for a silver short, but I'm not willing to put in a limit short order on silver right now. Because of everything I mentioned, increasing volume, it's on a roll. But if you zoom out macro, this is a rising channel that do typically, they do break down. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So we have some things going for us, but again, not enough to put in a limit short order. So when my alert goes off, I'm come back to the 4 hour. I'm gonna see what we do. Maybe we get a wick above. Then I'll work my way down to the 2, the 1, the 30-minute, and the 15-minute time frame. If we start to see some bearish divergence, or we start to see some metrics that tell us price is about to roll over, I'll get into a silver short. That's kind of my strategy. And so if you want to follow along, just go ahead and set an alert on silver at 81.50, and let's come back to the chart if that number hits, and then we can figure out if it's a good short or not. But you got copper. You got copper pulled up?
I got copper pulled up, and I found actually an entry for a trade right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I found some bullish consolidation on a 15-minute chart with low stochastics for copper. Look at this. Measured move to $6.
What time frame are you on the 15?
23 cents, 15-minute chart. So this looks like a good trade on 15-minute, but I got to zoom out for you and just show you that it is a bit risky, as this is a huge run up. Check that out. It's going to be due for a pullback at some point on these bigger time frames, because look at that. That's the 4 hour. This thing is running, so there may be a bigger short at play, but right now, short term, this could break out. That's a bullish consolidation pattern on the 15-minute.
That is.
So I'm
what's that? Well, I want that premium entry. What's that entry right there? Where on the bottom end of that range?
Yeah. So like right there.
Yeah.
Bottom of the pattern.
Yeah. What is that?
Here we go. $6.13. 6.138 to be exact.
What's copper?
It just says copper. It's fully spelled out. Copper USDT.
What was that level? Because that's where I'd want to get in.
Yeah, the entry level would be $6.13. You could put 6.138 for the exact entry.
Let's copy price. So I'm actually gonna put that. I like that. 6.138.
Yeah, I'm going to do a similar trade here. Let's see.
All right, so we're taking a long here on copper. I think I'm gonna go 40x on the leverage. Let's see. Stop loss. I would assume stop loss below 6.065. 6.065. And TP.
The measured move
6.23
technically is 6.231.
Let's see the R&R on this one. Not very good.
Yeah.
R&R on that is pretty terrible. I think
we'll tighten it up, bud.
Less than 1-to-1.
Tighten it up.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna go higher on my stop loss. So let's put our stop loss below this last body candle here, which is 6.118. Let's copy that price. Let's go in here, paste it. Nope. Paste it. Let's see what that looks like now. Now we're looking at oh yeah, I like this. Now it's a 4-to-1 trade setup. Okay. All right. Here's my Here's my trade setup on copper. Okay, while JP's putting his in. We're looking for an entry at 6.140. We're putting our stop loss, or I'm putting my stop loss below this body candle here. So this is your pennant, okay, or your ascending triangle, the very bottom here, and our TP is just a measured move of this body here, of this pole, okay, which brings us to $6.23. That is a 4-to-1 trade setup. We're risking $100 on our stop loss to make $440. To me, that's a solid trade. And so that's what I got cooking. Can I do? I don't think you can do commodities on break.
No, I don't think you're gonna find copper on there. Nope.
Okay. And silver's starting to roll over on the 15-minute here. Let's see on the volume. Oh no, volume increased on the move up, on the second move up for the most part. Did I get filled? I did get filled. Nope, you got filled.
Jesus Christ.
Did you get filled?
I got filled. So I kind of put mine as to last for the price. I used that last button. I didn't kind of, I just kind of did it instinctively.
Okay.
So I guess I'm in the trade.
Let's see your levels.
Let's see my levels. Okay, so let me adjust this. There's my stop loss, 6.117. My entries here around 6.14, it looks like. And take profit is up at $6.23. This gives me a 3.58 to 1 risk reward ratio. I'm not mad at it.
I like it.
Yeah, if I get stopped out, that means we broke the pattern, you know, and this would be some type of bearish div type situation, and it'll come much lower. And if that happens, hey, maybe we could look at a bigger trade, maybe a bigger short. But once again, I will be careful with the way things look right now in the market overall. Look at this NASDAQ chart on the 1 minute. What is that?
What is that?
Is that Artemis 2? Artemis 3? Look at that.
Oh my God, I saw a skit, 3 like cholos doing Artemis. Hey fool, welcome to Apollo 13. That's what's funny. Anyways, okay, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Last night I was looking at RAVE DAO. And I was getting ready to put a short in at $12.40. I didn't, thank God, because that thing just ran. It ran, and then we saw a massive pump up to like 20-something dollars.
Yeah.
Bro, we were looking at the wallets yesterday. On both Binance and Ethereum, 99.9% of all the tokens are centralized into the top 10 wallets. Think about that. 99.9.
Well, that can't be good.
Percent.
That can't be good.
10 wallets. Okay. I am sorry, but that shit is going to fucking collapse. The question is when.
How did it make it to Coinbase?
Maybe Coinbase is one of those wallets. So I know there's a mega short cooking here.
So,
I saw a drawdown today. What can you give me your thoughts on that on RAVE DAO?
Well, without any narrative mixed in and just purely charts, looking at the 30-minute, I'm seeing bullish consolidation and it could pop off, to the upside right now. And I know nothing about RAVE. I do know that God King has been talking about it, raving about it, and making money. And
Rob was talking about this shit when it was at like 20 cents or something.
I'm seeing
this is a while ago.
Yeah. Or maybe this is some type of like bull flag. I don't know. It's giving me like bullish consolidation here somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. Low Stokes green dot money flow heavily in the green. Clearly a bullish move. What up, man?
You're supposed to be joining our show, man.
It's Rob.
Yeah, remember we talked about this.
What are you doing? Yes.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Here, why don't we let Rob finish that maybe? But yeah, I mean, This is what was it, like 5 months ago, Robin? 6 months ago?
Oh, yeah?
Talking about RAVE down? Yeah, and he kept showing it, and as I usually do.
Is there a particular time frame you want me to analyze this on?
I don't know, bro. Analyze it on the short time frame where I can get a short.
All right. Let's bring it up.
Yeah, I think we have to unmute his mic.
I got him. I'm bringing him up. There you go.
My man JP over here,
multi-hyphenated.
Multi-hyphenated JP.
Multi-hyphenated, I like it.
Cricket ass.
All right, you guys should hear him. Let us know if you can't, but you should hear him fine. Let us know if you do. But in the meantime, small time frame, 1 minute, right?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, what do we even look at with something like that? I mean, okay.
I see a flag again, man. Look at that. That's a flag.
Go to like the 4 hour, bro.
Okay, 4 hour.
Go to the 4 hour.
Oof.
Yeah, keep
huge run up.
Yeah. Measure that run up there from the bottom there.
What is going on here?
It's fucking wild, bro.
Bro, 6,000% run up
in fucking 5 days. 5 days. That's what I'm saying, bro. And I'm sorry, man, but when you look at the concentration of the wallets. 99.91% of all tokens are held and controlled by 10 wallets.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was dope. My boy got a digital mixer on there.
What up?
Hey. Oh, my bad. I brought that up. Sorry. There we go.
Cool. That was kind of cool.
I'm engineering live here.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I tried to tell y'all about RAVE DAO.
I know, but
you made so much fun of me, bro.
I did not make a lot of fun of you on RAVE DAO. Zcash, okay.
You said, who the hell cares about a concert, a rave? Are you serious right now? And then I kept talking about it. And you were just like dismissing me. Now, to be fair, I did tell you about like 5 projects roughly around that time. There were a few that I was highlighting. It's really the only one that's done well. So
okay, hold on. Whoa, wait. Okay. I'm sorry, bro, but if you give me 5 projects, okay, 4 of them go to 0, and 1 of them does this, I'm buying you like a brand new car for your birthday. I mean, you give me 5, 4 go to 0, and only 1 of them gives me a 35x in 5 days. You're getting a nice present for me, man. So.
Hey.
Okay.
I just
I'll come in with a list of 5 next week then.
What?
I'll come in with a list of 5 next week.
Yeah, I mean, this didn't cook for a while though, because I mean, we were talking about it for. I
brought it up. It was probably about 2 months ago.
I think longer, man.
It was 2 months ago. When did it rally? If you look at the chart, it rallied. It was about 2 months ago. It was up like
February
30-40%, something like that. And then, it's a relatively new token, or at least it's been trading on some exchanges and listed on CoinMarketCap relatively recently. Speaking, it's been around for a while. I just like the fact that it has partnership with these big conventions. So these guys got a lot of money. That was my whole premise about it.
I wonder why.
I'm like, these Token 2024, the Dubai Bitcoin conference, these just conference just internationally, they get a lot of donations and a lot of money funnels in from these crypto projects to get their voice heard at these conventions. And so they got a lot of money. They got a lot of money to throw at parties.
Now they definitely have a lot of money.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, that's the big hype thing when it comes to a conference is these conferences try to hype up how badass their after party is going to be. They try to get like big headliner DJs and nightclubs and things like that. And so that's why, I don't know, it just kind of made sense for me. I just been to too many conferences, and it's like the main takeaway from the conferences or what they're trying to pitch is how badass their nightlife is for the conferences. And so I'm like, oh, here's a crypto project that is working with the conferences that is all about nightlife, raves, parties, DJs, and it does a tour. It's not just stuck with one conference. And so I don't know, I found it appeling, and so that was the reason I highlighted that.
So you telling me RAVE DAO actually have something to do with raves?
Yeah, if you go to their website,
telling me
it is. So they throw on like a big concert. So it's like a concert / rave / festival.
I got the website here.
And then what they do is they sell those like tables, those expensive tables that you would get at a nightclub. Those are paid for in crypto, so they go for high prices. So they generate revenue in that manner, is that they're selling tickets and tables, and then that's paid for usually in crypto, which is converted over to their token, and so you're going to get natural liquidity from the sale of tickets and tables, and then you got the backing of the crypto conferences. And so that was my allure to it, and I just know how much financial backing these crypto conferences have, and so for that reason, that's why I found that one interesting.
Interesting pump now though, and I fucking cannot get filled on this damn copper trade, bro.
Why now? Well, perhaps it's because you got the Dubai conference coming up soon. So
Bitcoin's in a week.
But they don't have a rave or concert for the Bitcoin Vegas.
What?
No, they have one for Dubai, and they also have one for Token 2024.
Probably those too soon or something.
Yeah, those are coming up soon, and the Dubai one is at the end of the month or next month, I think. And so those are coming around the corner. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dubai money just started buying up tokens and throwing it at it. Dubai likes to loosely just throw money at things that they find interesting. And so that's probably where the pump is coming from, especially if the wallets are centralized into about 10 holdings.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I look at that kind of perspective. I wouldn't buy it now for sure. It's very
hell no.
But
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I want to highlight a comment from Dad Bod Hustle. He said, "Would you roll your Tau into Link right now?" Absolutely the fuck not. No. And it's not because I love Tau. Well, it partly is because I love Tau. But why would you, at this current time, after it saw a drop from 350, why would you roll it into anything unless you've lost all hope in it?
Seriously.
I mean, one company left out of 120, and they're already taking over that subnet slot with the same things Templar was doing it even better. And just to kind of further prove that Sam Dare guy, I think that's how you say his last name, he's already looking for funding for another project. So the guy is kind of known in the circles as, I don't want to say a scammer, but he's allegedly a serial I'm just not going to say anymore just in case.
Serial killer.
No, not a serial killer.
No. Okay.
So, guys, this is, to me, and you guys know, if you've been watching our show for the last 4 years, I've always said the same thing. When something like this happens, I immediately like, okay, what happened? Can we point to something and say this is why the price fell? And that, if we can't, then I'm a little concerned. If we can, then I evaluate, is it short term, will it bounce back, or is this an existential threat to the network or to the ecosystem? When I look at this, holy shit, what happened? Wow, this guy left. Okay, they're making some changes to the governance. The actual founder is taking over that subnet. He's the one that built it. So it's not like the guy left or the guy scammed. It's one subnet owner who is known for doing the shit he's done. And so to me, I look at this as these are buying opportunities. So to answer your question, absolutely zero chance I rotate my Tau that is down. What is it down? Down 30% into anything right now. Zero. In fact, what I'm working on is I'm working on bringing my cost average down. So I hope that answers your question. Can I get your thoughts on Tau, man?
Sure.
On the Tau
technicals?
chart? Yeah, I got into a little bit of a long yesterday. Yeah. Very, very speculative. That's why I didn't put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
I got stopped out. But eventually Tau's gonna have a giga run back up to that 330, 340 range. I just want to be in that trade when it happens. But what are you seeing? Because obviously I am biased.
Yeah.
Tau is my largest holding. I am very, very biased. Mm-hmm. So I want a non-biased set of eyes.
Yeah.
Looking at that Tau chart, if you don't mind.
So I'm looking at it. I'm on a 1 hour here, and it is in a downtrend, obviously. It's breaking down. What I would be looking for here is some type of bullish divergence to tell me that the bleeding has stopped. And that and that it's going to the upside. And I don't see it just yet. It's not there in a 1 hour. I don't see it on the 2 hour. And the 4 hour, so what I would do here is, just from a purely technical perspective, that's a descending triangle. That's bearish consolidation. And you have a big flagpole here. So let's measure the pole.
Thank you.
And see what the measured move is. And that says 180 for Tau, potentially. And that happens to be where the nearest support is, the major support, around that 180 level. So that could happen. It could get bullish divergence on the way down. Price goes lower, and we eventually see these momentum waves go higher, and that'll create our bullish divergence. And that could be where we long Tau. Just, purely technical perspective, that's what it looks like right now. There is no reversal yet, at least from the 1 hour time frame and up. The smaller time frames may look a little bit different. Let's see. There's a 15-minute chart. You got slight bull div there, but the money flow is decreasing, telling us that the trend truly is down. 5 minute. Yeah, no major divergence there at all. No, it's just, there's no clear signs of a reversal just yet.
Yeah.
So I would prepare for the worst case scenario, which is really not that bad. It just goes down to the nearest support, 180 for Tau, brace for potential $180 Tau.
I'll be ready to buy more.
I would love that for entry. I haven't gotten any yet. I would love to get some. So
I'm curious to get Rob's opinion on this. Would you rotate your Tau into Chainlink right now?
Chainlink?
Yeah.
No, I think that the AI. So AI seems to rally in waves here, and it's sustained, right? So ultimately, you get a run up consolidation. This has been going on since 2021, essentially. It wasn't as strong in 2021 as it is now, but AI really, what does it do? Runs for 3 months, consolidates for 4 months, 4 months. And so it's boom and bust. But ultimately, you're seeing the strongest projects like Tau ultimately grind its way up, making higher lows throughout the whole process. And so for me, I think that this is a good buying opportunity for Tau. As you mentioned, a good opportunity to lower your cost basis if you've been acquiring Tau over the higher peaks. Now, I think that with Tau is a good benchmark for what AI is doing. And AI is down. And so for me, I'm going to start looking at other AI projects that are also down, because if Tau is down, that there's a lot of deep discounts on other AI projects. I would just say this: as you get peaks and troughs in something like AI, lots of projects aren't going to come back. Now, Tau will keep bouncing back because Tau is relevant, Tau is being used, but there's a bunch of smaller cap AI crypto coins that just aren't going to bounce back with every trough that happens over the peaks and troughs of AI price, price going up and down. Now, what's one that I like that's down right now? I like Zora. Zora was something that was very popular back in, was it January, February? Way down. Now, a couple things about Zora. One, social fi, you could make an argument that this is an upcoming sector. So it's AI, it has deep integration with AI agents. It's on the Base ecosystem. Now, Base isn't, it's kind of taken a back seat recently. There was a lot of buzz over Base, but
their numbers are down big.
But Zora shifted over and also launched on Solana's network. So Zora is now actively traded and on Solana currently.
JP's wincing over here.
I'm looking at the chart.
It's down. It's way down. It's way down. It's way down. I'm not. And
please show this, Laura.
I typically like to get exposure to a crypto that's down like this. I like to wait for a breakout before I get back in. But I'm just going to let you know that. One, with AI being down, I think that AI is going to reverse. I think that what you're going to see is Base Also, Solana is going to rally. I think this is both positive. You also got a strong connection between Farcasters and with Zora as well. So the social fi, if that ends up becoming a thing, Zora is going to be a clear-cut winner. This was something that was near the top 100 and now currently outside the top 300, way down, high risk. But if you want one of my personal plays, that's what I'm lining up there.
Okay. I'm just trying to find some. Let's look at. See if doing analytics.
It's definitely seeming like it's plateaued as well. I don't have the chart here in front of me, but it is.
I got it here.
It's dropped and it seems to have found a bottom. Now I'm always in the camp that things could always fall more. You can always have.
That's the daily chart right there. Yeah. So you're clearly in a discount.
Yeah.
Whew. That is low.
And we haven't seen a breakout to confirm a trend reversal. So it might not be the best time to get in.
Well, let me ask you, what's Pumped Out Fund look like? Because
but also just look at the Zora website though, man. Like pull up the website. Like sure. Zora like actually has something to it. It's not a DeFi protocol that just doesn't have any users. This is a social media platform that kind of NFTs your posts. You can turn around and sell them, and so it's got something to it, and so you can theoretically buy these posts.
Like an Instagram type of thing. This is like some social media.
It's like an Instagram where people can essentially buy and own your posts.
Huh.
And so it's a novel idea. Okay. It's got backing by Coinbase Ventures as well, so it's got some real money behind it.
Okay.
It's on both Solana and Base ecosystem, and it seems quirky. It seems fun. I think, and it has very strong ties to AI as well, and so it falls in the social fi category. So that's small and new, and you never know. That could be something in the future.
That should have been your entry, huh?
My copper trade got filled.
Nice.
Yep.
You guys are trading copper? What the hell did I miss?
Precious metals,
what
baby.
What happened?
We're getting speculative.
Bullish diver.
And that's it for Sin City Metals. Thanks for tuning in.
Tokenized metals.
That's true for tokenized. So there is a crypto element to it.
Yes, sir.
Tokenizing copper, huh?
Yeah, that one AI project that hasn't slowed down is Venice, man. Take a look at this. Over the last 2 months, it's been up 451%. This is something that I got airdrop for free. I've made my money. There's no making your money back because I didn't put any money in it. But I've made a lot of money on this, and it was an airdrop, and I still hold a good amount of Venice token. This thing has been absolutely crushing it. Up 450%. It ran up to $10. Just today, actually. $9.97. Big psychological number, $10. Seeing a little bit of a pullback right now. Those of you that are looking at this and are saying, well, you know what? I like this. I want to get an entry. Let me mark out a level for you guys on a high time frame. Just, if we're like $7.34.
Okay.
Just a quick, let me see what price does here. Bounce, rejection, consolidation below, break above, retest on a wick, and then off to the races. So a deeper correction, I'd love to see it come down and get up to that $7.34. And if you're itching to get into Venice, that's the level I'd be eyeing. I'm not saying you should go in and two-hand buy this thing at $7.40 or 34 cents. But if you want a level to keep in the back of your mind, that's the level I'd have, and I'll drop a flag so it's a little bigger and easier to see. There it is, $7.34. So yeah,
Did a buy level?
But yeah, like a spot buy level.
Okay, nice.
And these airdrops have been crushing it, bro. Certain ones, Hyperliquid, Venice.
Yeah. I wish I would have gotten to the Hyperliquid short. Let's get some love to the chat, man.
Didn't we put in a hyper? Didn't we put in
We
a
did,
hyperliquid
but it-
yesterday? What happened?
I missed it by 28 cents.
The entry?
Yeah. I canceled the trade because it already fell off. But yeah, Rob and I were on the chart yesterday. I had my yep. You see that wick up there? My limit order was up here. So I missed about like 30 cents. And that would have been a beautiful fuck. I mean, we have 5% already, bro. I would have been funded off that trade. If that trade would have hit, I would have been funded right now. I'd probably be taking profits live on the show.
It looks still shortable now, honestly.
Well, we're coming up to a little bit of a bear flag here, but yeah, you know what? Let's take a hyperliquid, man. I missed that trade on the high time frame.
Yeah.
But are any other potential trade setups here on hyperliquid?
Oh, I'm looking at the 4 hour here. I mean, we just completed pretty bearish engulfing candle, and we're dumping right now. I like these kind of trades. I'm not a big just put a limit order up and I hope it hit. You know, I really am a, you know, let the candles play out first and then I'll get in now, you know, type of trader. I like around this entry, and then you'll have to have a stop loss obviously above the wick highs at $45.
You think it's gonna have a further drawdown?
Yeah. I see a further drawdown here. So let's see short. I mean, anything can happen, right? You know, Bitcoin's getting spicy. S&P could put in all-time highs here. You know,
I think it's gonna actually go back up.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I mean, you're in a bullish trend. You know, higher highs, higher lows. Absolutely.
That last high it put in prior to that, you know, to where it was. Yeah,
right
that
here.
right there.
Yep.
I like to use those prior highs as the
like support, right?
Or bounce, right? And so I think right now it's at a pivotal moment. I think that it's.
Yeah, you are in a bullish trend. You're usually better off long in the bullish trend. I agree with you. And that could be a SR flip zone. You know, you bounce off the previous resistance, 100%. But at the same time, from a 4 hour perspective, you know, like, you know, you're pretty overbought here on the RSI overall, you know, and this was just a huge move. You know, this is a huge move up. And sometimes when you get a huge move up like that, you know, it's sometimes followed by a huge move down. It's speculative, it's risky, you know, shorting this right now. But let me pull up a fib. But this could retrace.
You had bear div on the 6 hour and the 8 hour.
Yeah, and those are big time frame. Those things are very, very powerful. You know, this could come down to the 618. This can come down to $39 potentially. But I'm with you, Rob. Yeah, it is a bullish trend. It's a bullish trend until it isn't. You know, this should just bounce here, you know, off this level where we at right now, or maybe even just off the 21 here. This should just continue. You know, it's a bit risky shorting this right now. But, I mean, hey, man, you got to, you know, high risk, high reward here, right?
Yeah. I'm also kind of just looking.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to short it, I would have a very, so here's what, if I were to short this is what I'd be doing. I mean,
it's putting in just rounded bottom after rounded bottom. So I think that ultimately, even if you were to short it and it were to go down, I think that you're going to, you know, take some time for it to play out.
I don't even know if I'd feel comfortable going all the way down there. I mean, I'd probably come up here somewhere. That's a 2.5 to 1 trade setup. If I draw a fib from here, you know, we had that spike in volume. Do we have any confluence? We have the 50% fib level at 40.61. That gives you a really, really crappy, you know, if you keep your stop loss above that wick high, you can get a 1.23 to 1. We saw some consolidation here. That 50 level looks good, actually.
I just wouldn't even trade this right now. I'd wait for it to play out a couple more candles. Maybe look at it tomorrow.
I'm with you, Rob.
Yeah, I'd wait for it to look at it tomorrow. I think it's going to just round out anyways, and then ultimately lose, you know, consolidate, and then bear flag lose and drop, or it just rounds out and, you know, does what it's been doing. But I don't think there's any big moves coming up in the next.
Look at this on a 10-hour perspective here. Check out these two bull flags that broke out, you know, one after the other. So we're kind of like mid-breakout right now.
Yeah.
And this could just, you know, measure move. You could be halfway up to the next move, you know, to 51. if that plays out. You see how risky it is just longing or shorting right here.
Has it been over 50 historically? I don't know the historical price chart.
Let's see. Yes, very much so. Daily chart.
Yeah, that was it was only over $50 for like a week or like 3 days or something.
All-time high is 61.
Yeah,
61.7.
but that's historically it hasn't been over 50 now. I remember looking at this long term. Yeah, it doesn't. And it's found resistance at 50 quite often. So I think that that bull flag would make sense to go up to 50 and then repeat another bull flag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you come on up, you do one more. I really want to get into the whole Elliott wave thing, man. It has to be something. It has to be a certain amount of times that we bull flag before you get the bigger retracement, you know?
Yeah.
I've never gotten into Elliott waves.
I'm interested, man. I'm always expanding. Once again, I don't want to do too much, you know, but just from a research perspective, like how many times have you seen it flag, one more huge move up and then dump, right?
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Copper trade's doing nothing.
Yes.
Got in. We're at even. I think I got in at 6141 or 6142.
Bro, back in Virginia growing up, man, we used to scrap copper all the time.
I thought you were gonna say eat copper.
No, you just go to the construction yard and you just steal a big ass spool of that thing. You roll it home,
Nice.
like one of those big wooden wheels. And you just sit out front with a Budweiser 12 pack and then a little knife, and you just scrape it and pull it. Bundle up some copper and go buy some weed, bro.
Wow. Copper weed.
That's what I was about to say.
The new strain.
Where I'm from, that's crackhead activities. Right? Stealing copper, buying drugs.
20 years old, bro. That's what you had to do to survive.
And homeless activities, too.
You know, normal human beings, we call that being a fucking degenerate crackhead. I do want to give some love to the chat here. First and foremost, big shout out to all the mods in here. We appreciate all of you. I think I just made God King a mod as well, so I haven't seen him in here today.
Hey, where is
Maybe
he?
he's recovering from yesterday.
I had him working, yeah.
I know. Paul P said, "Does anyone think RAVE DAO will go up to $20 to $30, bro? Maybe. I don't know. Probably.
It could. I wouldn't put my money behind it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah." Where can I short this shit coin? I think he's talking about RAVE DAO. You can do it on Bitunix, and if you use our link in the
or is he talking about price?
Proceed with caution. Shorting
100%.
something that is breaking out like that.
I couldn't agree more.
Could you imagine trying to short like Zcash or Dash from when it was $20? Like this thing can't go no higher. It's at $111. Now it's at $200. And it's at $300. I got just fuck. God damn, I'm broke. That's what happens when you try to short things that are just too.
I agree.
There's a lot of volatility. So just
too
be
much
careful.
upside. Yeah, it seems like it seems logical when you're looking at it. You're like, this thing's topped out. Let me short this, and then
easy way to get ripped up.
Yeah, I did that with Shiba Inu back in 2021. I was like, there's no way this thing can keep pumping.
$7 million later.
Yeah, then
I would just say this: if you're gonna short it, do it on a daily and be very careful. Just look at this daily chart. It's like 6 days of just madness. You know, let the daily chart close.
Volume is collapsing. Though.
Let the daily candle close and just short the top wick. That's the way I would do it if I were to short it.
Short, when you say short the top wick, meaning have your stop loss above the top wick?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, this is 5 hours before this daily candle close. Let it close, and then, let's see what happens with the next candle.
That volume is...
Yeah. It's decreasing, yeah. It looks shortable.
That could be a giga short, man. I'm with Rob. I just be careful.
You just don't just randomly enter with and not knowing what your stop loss is going to be. Know what you're willing to lose. I'm willing to lose $200. Scale that risk to the top.
I mean, we all know that there's a short opportunity of a lifetime there.
Yeah.
But it's just but on one side it's short opportunity of a lifetime. On the other side, it's assured liquidation if you're not timing the top.
Yeah.
And we know how impossible it is to time tops.
Literally.
Now, we can get 100 people putting in 100 different entries on a short position. Maybe 2 of them will nail it, but 98 of you will get liquidated. And so that's just kind of the reality.
It's a sad reality.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you got like, hey, I got to, go F yourself money, that's like, hey, I got $300 and I'm going to put a 15x short on this. And you know what? Maybe that 300 turns into 35 grand. Or
what I'm
and
looking
then
for,
then
bro.
on the other hand, it's like, hey, I'm just gonna lose my $300, and so that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, it's calculated risk.
Yeah.
Steve-O said, why is Rob sitting at the kiddie table?
Where'd my Capri Sun go, bro?
There are Capri Suns in the fridge. We know. Crypto Steve says, serious question. What are your thoughts on Canton? I'm so torn. Part of me gets XRP vibes. Part of me loves it because it's getting adopted by TradFi. I have some exposure to Canton Network.
I mean, Canton has actual users, corporations, and institutions behind it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not just a flash in the pan because retail got excited and woke up one day and their barber told them about Canton. And so I think that here's the way I look at it. This bull market cycle isn't retail, your waitress, your average hourly worker pumps here. This is like what institutions are using it, who's rolling it out, and where does it tie into Wall Street? If it checks those boxes, you're good. Right? I mean,
Yeah, I agree. And if you're unsure, like there's plenty of things that I'm not really sure about, but I just, like, you never know. So I hold enough to where if it does not work out and it goes to zero, I'm fine. And if it does work out, then I'm very, very happy. Rob can't short any shorter. I don't know what that means. Happens all the time in Hialeah. What's Hialeah? And Kron said, I'm still waiting for ADA to get back to $1.
come back in 2028.
Potentially, yes. All right. I don't got anything else. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
Real quick, what's more likely? Cardano to $1 or to 10 cents?
Well, let's see.
Now, it's closer mathematically as
10
far to 10 cents. In a while, it's been at 10 cents. 20 cents is a strong support. What's it at? Like 22 cents right now? 23 cents, something like that?
24 cents.
24 cents.
Well, let's see. 10 cents will be like a 56% drop.
That's a big drop.
That's a pretty big drop. Yeah, they lose half of his value. Or we pump up. How much I got to scroll that up, man? Or we pump 300%.
Yeah.
300% to $1. What's more likely?
That's a
I
hard
know
question.
mathematically, the idea would be Cardano 10 cents, but I will say that the community is strong. I feel like there is enough people out
They're
here.
pretty fractured right now, man. I don't know.
But I think there's enough retards out here that'll just be like, what? You just at 12 cents. And they'll just come in and buy it. And not to say that they're dumb for wanting to buy Cardano. No slight
just call
there.
them
But
retards.
no,
You
I'm saying
literally
that
just
the
call
retards will be people that'll just YOLO and buy whatever simply because the price is down. And so, I mean, I hold Cardano. I'm kind of retarded sometimes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
10 cents
you're
is definitely more
apparently
likely.
a crackhead too.
Yes.
Who steals copper. And,
I survive out in the streets. That's what you need to make money in crypto, bro.
all you need is some crack and copper.
That's right. If you have that traditional mindset of work hard and go to college, you'll never make it in crypto.
Do some crack, kids.
Don't do that. I've never done crack. A lot of weed smoking though.
Yeah. I would say if I had to pick one, I would probably say 10 cents. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I would just say be careful as usual, especially as NASDAQ may be approaching all-time highs again. You know, be careful trying to time the top. Just as dangerous as trying to time the bottom, right?
Yeah, JP, why are you always giving the PC answer, bro?
I'm looking out for people, man, overall, okay?
Throw some chum in the waters, bro. Piss somebody off.
No, that's what you do. All right, we're done for the show today. I want to thank you all very much. Tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do a show tomorrow. Maybe what we'll do.
We can do it after.
Yeah. If we do a show tomorrow, yeah. Just follow us on X and you know what? Jump in our Discord. That's going to be the best place. You're going to get all the updates. We'll let you guys know. We'll do something. We'll do something, maybe a show, maybe a Discord live chat or something like that. So we'll do something for the community. And so just make sure you're subscribed and get into our Discord. I'll just prompt that Discord link right now. And guys, please, man, y'all want to support the channel, use some of our affiliate links, right? Those of you that want to maybe try out prop trading, it's very low risk, very high reward, right? You know exactly the amount of total money you can lose. So if you want to support the channel and you want to try it out, there's a link in the description, try out Breakout. There's a lot of really dope updates coming to them. And I know a lot of it is people like being uncertain, well, can I actually take money out? I'm telling you guys, when I get funded, I will be taking profits live on the show. I've been doing some giveaways, so that way maybe those people can realize that, hey, you know, you actually, this is a 50K account that you're trading with like it is your own money. And then also for Tangent, we'll be giving away some wallets, but if you want to buy one, they're fairly cheap. You do get an extra discount if you use our code, so use that as well. And that's all I got. Thank you all very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow at some point somewhere. Until then, peace.